evening, Mr. Arun.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Arun.
Yes, sir.
Please start.
All right, sir.
Sir, should I?
I will introduce you, ma'am, first. Okay. Good evening to all. I hope you all are having another day in paradise. Welcome to all the exuberant educators to the 147th web training series of CBSE Bharat Sahodaya. Now I proudly present today's moderator, Miss Jatinder Kaur Ratan. Ms. Jatinder Kaur has a decade of teaching experience. She is a master in English language and also a holder of PGDCA. Presently, she is working as an English and communication teacher at Jesus Sacred Heart School, Punjab. And if we talk about her achievements, it's long and remarkable. Ms. Jatinder Kaur has received the Best Teacher Award and also the Best Counselor. She had been the guest of honor at Media Fest, a second runner-up in FM Vibes organized by Sacred Heart School. She's also certified for doing massive open online courses, attending symposium, workshops, etc. She had been the moderator for a faculty development program organized by National Institutes of Technical Teachers Training and Research. She has presented many research papers and hosted many offline and online events. Indeed, we are very glad to have you as our moderator for today's session. So, Jatinder ma'am, I wholeheartedly invite you to moderate this grand session.
Thank you so much, sir. I feel so blessed and honored for such a good and wonderful introduction. I'm grateful for the wonderful words that you said for me. Thank you so much, sir.
Always.
Have a pleasing and blessed evening to one and all. Blessed as we are here to learn something new today as well. May it give you a boost and reignites your mind to think clearer, and hope you enjoy your time. I, Jatinder Kaur, would like to express my sincere gratitude to Dr. Abdul Salam and BTEC for giving me this great opportunity. I extend a warm and heartiest welcome to all the participants of this webinar. For this present moment, on behalf of all of us who are present here in the webinar, I would like to thank Dr. Salam for empowering us with such enlightening sessions. Ladies and gentlemen, let us give a warm welcome to Dr. Abdul Salam, who is the CBSE resource person and CBSE Deputy Training Coordinator of Trivandrum region. Sir is the founder of BTAG, and that is Bharat Transformers Academic Group, a consortium of educators and the teaching fraternity across the globe, connecting them together to empower the nation. He is the patron of CBSE Bharat Sahodaya. Sir, it is indeed our pleasure to have you, your gracious presence over here, and I would like to request you to take over and deliver the welcome notes, sir. Welcome address. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Prospective resource person of the day, Miss Pooja Gai, and moderator Jatinder ma'am, and our General Secretary, CBSE Bharat Sahodaya, Dr. Jayanti, and all the Mr. Arun Mohan, and all participants. I take this opportunity to thank all the school principals, heads for sending their teachers here. I could see lots of teachers have registered from particular schools. So there is a effort of principals, the teamwork, taking the teachers together with them and joining the session. Very keen to know what is Feynman Technique, just like me. I am also looking forward to Pooja Gai ma'am for this particular topic, Feynman Technique, and how it is going to help teachers and students in the process of learning. So very glad to host this session on behalf of BTAG in association with CBSE Bharat Sakodaya. And this is our 147th session, and everybody is crossing their fingers to know what is Feynman Technique. And we are very glad to introduce Ms. Jatinda Kaur, who is from the same school.
Am I audible, sir?
Good evening, ma'am. Welcome back.
Okay. First of all, yeah, very good evening. Very good evening. First of
Good
all,
evening.
I'm really apologizing. This is the world of internet, and anything can happen anytime. And you just imagine, am I audible to everybody now?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Okay, thank you so much. So, like, chalo. Anyways, whatever is done. Thank you for, first of all, for all the patience which all the participants they maintain. And before beginning, I would certainly like to my heartiest thanks to Salam sir, who has given this opportunity to me for being there on this platform, CBSE Bharat Sodhya. Thank you so much, Salam sir. Like, I really salute you because you are such a great mentor and has given opportunity to so many people. Thank you so much for that. And yes, my dear participants, of course, this is also, whatever happened, that is also one of the learning. Maybe you end up with 2 devices or 3 devices, backup, but still learning has no end. Anything can happen. Anyways, thank you so much to all the participants too for joining me and for being so patient with us. So let's begin today's journey. Before I begin, let me just ask one question for the participants. What do you understand by learning itself? Just give me one word. What do you understand by learning? I'll read out from chat box. What do you understand by learning? Okay, to get knowledge, understanding concept. Okay, all right. Come with more. Come on, very good. Okay, right. Understand, experience. So, Miss Uma, yes, I will just pick up Miss Uma's answer. Yes, Miss Angel. Okay, understanding, right? Understanding, that is one of the best definition of learning, I guess. Of course, knowledge is something different, experiences are something different, but wherever understanding happens, there only learning happens. So today we are just going to enter into such sort of platform wherein we learn that how our children, they can get a great learning, right? Like, because nowadays it is very difficult to make understand children that yes, learning can happen easily. They'll come out with 100 of excuses to the teachers that, ma'am, I'm having such and such problem at my home. I'm having such and such problem in the classroom. I'm not able to focus. I have some or other problems, right? But there's one technique which we have bring forward to you, which actually can help in a very wonderful manner. So please allow me to share my screen. Jatinder ma'am, just let me know when my screen would be visible, right?
Okay, sure, ma'am. Sure.
I'm just going to share it. Yeah, I'm just going to share it. Just give me a moment. Yeah, is it visible?
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
Thank you so much. So, dear audience, today we are going to learn Richard Feynman's and his technique. Now, Richard Feynman, his principles, his technique, and why do we need it? What is the benefit for the student? That is going to be the agenda of the meeting today. Let's just know a little bit about Mr. Feynman. He's actually a person, the person who understands the difference between the knowledge and the learning, and from it comes, whether it comes from experiences, whether it comes from understanding. That is why he's being called the great expert, and yes, the great explainer as well. The person who believes that learning can only happen when you can explain it beautifully. So let's just see what is this principle actually. He says, I learn. Ma'am, is it like connecting next? Can you see my next slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So his principle of Feynman technique says, yes, it is very easy that I learned very early the difference between knowing the name of something or knowing something. Now, this we all need to understand that what is the difference between these two things? Knowing the name of something or knowing something. Jitendra ma'am, I guess my principle of Feynman technique, this is not visible. Is that so?
It is, ma'am. Now it is visible. Earlier it was introduction
Okay,
screen.
Okay, all right, fine. Yes, Feynman says that there is a difference between knowing the name of something and knowing something. Now, how do we understand it? We use many things in our kitchen as well. Like if I just simply talk about, right? How many of us know each and every appliances of the kitchen? Like, just let me know. Let me know how many of you know each and every appliances of kitchen. Just drop me the message in chat box. Yes or no. And this is very, simple and common question. It's not difficult. Yes, yes. Okay. All right. All right. If I just simply say to you, what do we say? Do not just Google it. Just check. What do we say? Grill in Hindi. Can anyone share? What do we say? Griddle in Hindi. Okay. Anyone? Anyone who can raise the hand and tell the answer?
Yes, we have one of the participants who has raised the hand.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Sunita ma'am.
Can you answer, please? Can you answer, Sunita ma'am? Very simple question. Just quick answer. Okay, Matani, right. Right. Now, see, this is very simple. I have asked very simple. Now, this actually make you understand.
Excuse
Knowing
me,
the
Pooja,
name of something.
Pooja ma'am, sorry to interrupt. Your voice is again cracking.
Is it cracking? Like, is it not audible?
Now it's
Madam, your
audible.
network is very weak. That is what it shows.
Here, just, I don't know.
Place it close to the signals, Wi-Fi.
Okay, let me just check, sir. Like if I'll just, reconnect, then I'll get, away from the meeting. So I don't want to take that risk. Am I audible?
Yeah, please go
no?
ahead. Please go ahead.
Okay, all right. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Your PPT is off, I think.
Yeah,
Jatin,
I
ma'am?
just did it actually.
Yeah.
I just did it. Okay, now is it visible?
But now we can't see your beautiful face, ma'am.
That's okay. That's okay. Let's just proceed, I guess.
Okay.
Is
Okay,
it
ma'am.
okay?
Fine, sure.
Right. So this is also one of the learning, how much you can just, you feel like that it's a sort of a podcast going on. Let's just assume it that way. So my dear friends, yes, I was saying that knowing the name of something and knowing something, this we actually need to understand. If you want to master something, you teach it. And the more you teach, the more you learn. This is what Feynman says. This is what his principle is. And yes, he actually wants to explain lots of things that how we can go about it if we teach our students about the learning, that how it can happen. So the Feynman technique, it says, which is named after Richard Feynman, he says that it is designed to help one learn pretty much anything. So to understand concepts, one do not really need to get something. One do not need to remember any stuff. One should have already learned maybe or study more efficiently. So what do we get by this? It means cramming is not always required, my dear friends. Cramming is not always required. One should know that whatever the learning is happening, that learning should happen with understanding only. So that is the main essence of this Feynman technique. But how we can convince our, children, how we can convince our students that yes, it is very easy for you to learn it. Let's see. Now, this is what? This is skepticism, right? Now, skepticism is exactly, is there anyone who can just tell that what is the meaning of it? Put the answer in chat box. What do you understand by skepticism? Come on. Put your answers in chat box. What do you understand by skepticism? Pessimist, no. Okay, little bit, yes, little bit closer. Yes, doubt, confusion. Okay, what more? Not sure, doubtful. Okay. Now, how best answer? How many of you have got it checked from Google? Honest answer. How many of you got it checked from Google? Just say yes, if anybody did it. How many have Googled this? Yes, Ms. Jyoti is saying, right? Okay. Who else says? Okay. So, my dear friends, yes, sometimes what happens, we doubt on the attitude of the learner. Feynman technique is not to be believed as the skepticism, not any doubtful attitude. He has been learning lot many things throughout his years, and after lot many research, after from his own experiences, he understood this one beautiful concept that learning can only happen with understanding something very deeply. Now, if I just take you to a little bit somewhere forward, this is what? This is your childhood. Can you just recall it? The moment you were there in childhood, you were used to teach yourself, isn't it? Can you connect? Jitendra, can you see this slide? This slide?
Actually, ma'am, now this is visible. Yes.
So, dear friends, this is the moment which most of you must be recalling that yes, this is one of the moments when we were there, right? And everybody has experienced, every one of us, each one of us, like teaching, and we actually learned everything. And nowadays, if I just simply talk about what do children do? Let me know from chat. They learn the things, whatever you deliver as a teacher, how children, they learn this. Just put message in chat box, just one option. What do you think? How children, they do learn these things? Okay, by doing. Okay, what else? Watching. Yes. Umati is being very active. Good. Games, by observing, learning, by imitation, sharing, copying. Yes, that is definitely right. Nowadays, students have different options. They're cramming, they're learning by visualizing the thing, learning by different patterns. Even AP has got to know this thing, guys. Experiential learning, or you just say art integration, that learning can happen. The same. Just give me one moment, please.
Actually, Pooja ma'am, your voice is cracking and breaking a lot. But your slides are quite visible. We can read the things from here.
Yeah. Is it okay? Strong. I really could not understand. Otherwise, from my end, the net is perfectly fine. Is it okay? Is it audible, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Now is it? It's audible, but in between it cracks a lot, and we are not
Okay.
able to understand the words. That is the reason.
Okay.
You can continue, ma'am. Don't worry.
Thank you so much. So I was saying that yes, nowadays children, they learn with so many things like what? They learn by visualizing, they learn by experiential learning, they learn by some art integration. And this is exactly what? This is the way of learning which they actually feel like that they are comfortable with. But Albert Einstein, according to him, he says, if you can't explain it simply, you do not understand it well enough. If any person feels that yes, he is good learner, that person should know how to explain it well. If that person can explain the things well, that means that learning is there. So let's learn how Feynman, he actually wants to exactly forward that learning technique can happen. So this herein I'm going to share with you the first step of Feynman, and that is choose a concept you
Pooja, ma'am,
want
your
to
slide
learn.
is, ma'am, your slide is not visible. It's not changed. Kindly change it. Yes, now it's visible.
So choose a concept you want to learn about. Feynman says every time, whenever you actually want to learn something new, please choose that concept you want to learn about. And the same thing we are to train to our kids as well, to our students as well, that do not shun out from this thing that this is something difficult and I don't want to learn it. You need to choose that concept which you want to learn actually, which you feel like that this is difficult. So the very first step, train your children that you need to be you need to make a choice of that topic which is difficult for you. And why this step will work? Because reason behind, yes, my dear audience, you face what you do not know. You need to be very specific, and yes, you have to start small. You cannot just say that yes, I'll just pick up the whole topic and I'll learn. No, of course a small portion is to be picked up first, and then what will happen? You will learn more. You are actually facing that challenge first. So this step is the very first step, that choose that thing which actually for you is difficult. That is the first step of Feynman's technique. Now, if I just move to next step, Feynman's next step says, explain it to yourself and teach it to someone else. Now, this is the essence of Feynman's technique, my dear audience. Explain it to yourself and teach it to someone else, or teach it to someone else. You may go for any of the option, right? The thing is this, first step, you choose any difficult topic which you want to learn. Second step, you need to explain that thing to yourself, or take an option, teach it to someone else. Now, why we need to do this? Reason behind, if I just simply ask the teachers only, why the same topic can be taught by a teacher and not by any any other professional? Why any banker cannot teach the same topic? Why the teacher can only teach? Reason behind, anybody can drop up the message in chat box. What is the reason behind? Now bankers, they also know the things all about accounts and all that stuff. But if you just go to them and if you say that you have to teach 40 student class or 30 student classes accounts, will they be able to teach? No, a big no to that, right? But a teacher will be able to teach. What is the difference? Why do you think that a teacher is able to teach, a banker is not able to teach? Come on, drop me a message in chat box. Let me see how much you can connect. Okay. Creativity, they never impart the knowledge, better learning due to practice. Okay, I'll take up this point, better learning due to practice, right? Yes, my dear audience, better learning. When this better learning happen, then only a teaching can happen, right? It's simple to difficult. Okay, thank you so much for your answers. Thank you so much. I was just checking this also, that whether you're connecting with me or not. Thank you so much, my dear audience, for being so active enough. So I'll be just taking up my point once again. That is very true that a teacher can teach the things, but a banker cannot teach the same topic. And the reason is very similar, that we actually practice a lot. We practice teaching the same topic a lot, right? We cannot just teach into the classroom without any practice happened. So that is the best part, which we need to memorize in this way. So please remember, my dear audience, that this only we need to teach our students. Explain it to yourself or teach it to someone else. Tell them that any topic, if you feel like that which is difficult for you to learn it by explaining it to yourself or by teaching it to someone else. Definitely better learning would happen. And nowadays, we have given this term, peer teaching, isn't it? This is the word for this, peer teaching. So moving next, that why this Feynman technique, second step, it will work. Number one, it will build the confidence of the student. Now, why it will build the confidence? Reason behind, because when a child is gonna to speak up the same thing to himself or herself, his confidence will certainly boost up. And yes, it is very easy to trick others as well, and to yourself too. But when you trick to yourself, when you cheat yourself, your conscience tells you that yes, you missed something, you were wrong somewhere else. So it's not that easy. So to trick ourselves is, I guess it's more difficult according to me. So the second step, it says that it actually builds the confidence. When the child, he actually learns how to speak, how to just exaggerate the same points to himself or herself and explain it the same to himself or herself, the confidence definitely boosts up. That is why this step definitely can help. And now, taking up the next third step, reflect and refine. The third step, please note it down with you. It is not just important that we should just choose one difficult topic or just, after that we just start teaching. After teaching, we should list that we need to understand how to reflect on our mistakes and how we can correct them, how we can refine them. That is more important for us. This is the most important step of Feynman's technique, that reflecting on the mistakes and refining them and correcting them. So returning to the source material if you get stuck. Train your students that if they get stuck anywhere else, they can definitely get back to their same resource material, check where they lack. As I just said, that yes, it is not easy to, cheat your own self. So when we are lagging somewhere, we know that where to reflect. Others, when they tell us, then we don't understand that way. If we tell to ourselves the same thing, we can reflect in a better manner. And that is why this step will work. But one more thing is important. Learning becomes an iterative process. Now, what do you understand by iterative? Let me just get the answer again in chat box. Dear audience, give me the answer that how learning can become an iterative process. What do you understand by iterative term? Come on, answer me. What do you understand by iterative term? Okay, come on. Yes. Yes, very good. Interactive. Miss Uma saying interactive. Miss Sridevi is saying repeated. Miss Sindhu is saying repetitive. Right. Okay, repeated, continuously, interactive, related. Yes, definitely the correct answer. Learning can only happen when repetition is there. Of course, we need to learn it again and again. And it's not this, that learning, it has no end. Of course, when we are just picking up any one topic and we are focusing on that topic, and we are very much confident that after 2, 3 learning, repetitive learning, that topic will be learned by us. So we will certainly become confident. So that repetition for that particular topic will be required just for 2 or 3 times. That's it, right? But yes, that repetition will be required. Why? Because some reframing is there, that, as I just said. Somebody is asking that what is step 1? I would like to answer again. Step 1 was choose the difficult topic. Yes, train your students, choose the difficult topic. What was the second step? Let me ask the audience how much they are listening. What is the second step I have talked about? Yes, what is the second step I have talked about? How many answer? Yes, very good. Explain to yourself. Yes, one more thing I said. Explain to yourself. Okay, good. Or there was one more option. Explain to yourself, or yes, Miss Savita is saying yes, teach to someone else. Perfectly right. Teaching someone else or explaining to yourself, both options are available for us. That is the second step. And the third step, what was it? What was the third step? Come on, quick. Third step. Let me just have a recapitulation. Come on. Reflect and refine. Very good. Very good. Wow. I really feel like, if this would have been an offline conference, I would have really enjoyed it and would have given you a big round of applause for being so active. Thank you so much. So yes, dear audience, reflecting and refining, correcting the mistakes. That is the next step. And this learning will happen when this step will be a little repetitive, because it will make you engaged in your learning and it will definitely expand your knowledge too. Can you see this beautiful pig? This is some sort of a motivational thing for me. That a small animal like an ant cannot die by falling from any height. Anybody could tell me that what I want to infer from this pig? Anybody could tell me that what do I want to infer from this pic which I have displayed? Is it visible? I hope, Jitendra ma'am, this pic is visible.
Yes, ma'am, it is visible, very
Okay.
much visible.
Right. So let me know, what do you infer from this picture? What do you think? Why I have inserted this pic over here? The more you learn, you never fail. Miss Hema is saying, very good. Yes, Miss Maria is saying, failure is not the end. Keep trying. Yes, that is actually the meaning. Thank you so much, Miss Maria. Failure, actually, it gives us experience, my dear friends. We need to understand, and the same thing we need to inculcate in our students too, that do not worry even if you get failed, because failure will give you experiences. What success gives us? Success gives us satisfaction, but failures gives us experience. Success tells us that what to do next time, and failures tell us what not to do next time. So that is equally important. So this is the third step of Feynman. Now let's know what is the next step. The fourth step, the last step, that is simplify your explanation and create your analogies. See, it is very easy for a learner even, for a teacher even, to use any bookish language and explain it in the class. But we all know that when we use some bookish language into the classroom, learning hardly it happens. Why? Because the same thing, children, they are reading in the book and they are finding it difficult. And the same thing, if they will be listening from the teacher, they will equally find it difficult. So what is the difference? There is no difference. So what is the fourth step says? It's for teachers as well. That simplify your explanation if you really want your children to make them understand. And if I just talk about Feynman's technique for the students, they need to understand this, that when they are explaining the same thing, maybe to themselves or to somebody else, they need to use simple words. Simple words. Yes, analogies. It is really very helpful. I hope all of us, we could recall very easily our math. I could to recall very easily, my maths teacher, he was there when I was to do trigonometry in my school. My maths, I could just learn trigonometry by just one, mantra which my teacher gave, and that is that PBPHHB. And what does it mean? That Pandit Badri Prasad Har Har Bol, if you understand this. How many of you have heard about it? this Pandit Badri Prasad and Har Bol. This was like sort of that mantra which actually teaches you how to go for trigonometry, right?
Yes, ma'am, exactly. Yeah, even I know this.
Right. And it was so easy for us. It was so easy for us to learn
Yes, yes.
trigonometry. And this was sort of an analogy only, my dear friends. So same sort of analogy we can train our students as well, that if that learning is to happen, they can use their creativity. They can use those analogies. And yes, my next screen, that why this step works. Because simplicity is actually equals to understanding. If I just say that, yes, most of the students are in my class are very obdurate, but this is a little difficult for a common man to understand. That person will not understand that what is the meaning of obdurate, what ma'am wants to say. But if I just simply say that most of the students in my class, they are stubborn, or is very stubborn, so it is very easy to understand that yes, stubborn means that the obstinate. So usage of simple language so that better understanding can happen. And analogies, okay, just to reflect these words, let me see what do you infer from these analogies which are there on the picture on the screen. Just answer me. Let me see. Very easy. It's very easy, Of course, it's very easy. We're just getting it done in a gamification. Okay. No, I do not want any hand. I want the first sentence to infer. I just don't want hands and feet. No. How will you infer the first sentence with analogy? Write that sentence. Yeah, very good. Miss Sridevi saying socks are to feet. Miss Lindsay saying socks belongs to feet. Okay, that's right. Very good. And what is the second one inferring? What is the second one inferring? Yeah, come on. Some more answer. Yeah, Miss Tripati is saying gloves to hands, as gloves are to hands. Yes, very easy. See how easy it is. So why it is so easy? Because, if I am to learn any idiom or any phrase, and if I just energies in my mind, I'll be easily able to reflect it. The same way, maybe it's maths, maybe it's science topics, maybe it's SST, geography, history, or English, any topic. Students, they are good in making analogies. They are very good. Let's train them that how they can use their such skill, and this Feynman technique of certainly they can use it along, which will definitely help them in their learning. So yes, we all know that brain knows very well how to visualize. That is the reason behind. The time to just recapitulate this technique. Step 1 was pick and study the difficult topic. Step 2 was explain the topic to someone like a child who is unfamiliar with the topic. Yes, this is also something very important, the child, the student who are unfamiliar, with, or the person who is unfamiliar with the topic, teach the same topic to that person. Why? Because that person will not be judgmental for the speaker. So same way, if our student, they want to go for this Feynman technique, following up the that self-teaching, right? So they need to follow up this pattern as well. The level of understanding, of course, very simple language they are to use when they will be reflecting. And step 3, identify any gaps in your understanding. You actually need to reflect that where the gap was. And 4th step says, returning to the literature to understand better. Yes, of course, the 3rd step and 4th step can be, little intermingle according to the understanding of the student or according to the potential of the student. So herein we are just, I'm just going to recapitulate all the things all together, and let's see how it's going to help us. I'm going to read this. It helps you gain a thorough understanding of what you are learning. Definitely, whatever topic the children, the student, they'll be picking up, the thorough understanding would happen if they will be following Feynman's technique. That is the being a teacher teaching to one own self, and it will help to learn new ideas in a very productive manner and with a very short span of time too. They'll not take much of the time. And not only this, we all are teachers and we always want that we should just train our students to that extent that maybe they get into any field, they become a very good teacher. See, teacher is not just that person who is just teaching into, four walls, or who is just teaching in a school. No, life is very big and you have to become a teacher at every step of life. So if you know how to have that skill of teaching, you can definitely get success at every field. In every field, you can get that success. So definitely, yes. So following up the same technique, when they share their knowledge with others, it get enhances. And definitely nowadays, we all know that it is very important for us to increase the critical thinking of our students so that they better know that how to reflect on the better things and they can give the best of the results. So that was all. But yes, let's just not forget this. Listen to everyone and learn from everyone, because nobody knows everything, but everyone knows something. Yes, my dear friends, maybe the person next to you, the student standing next to you, maybe that child does not know everything, but he or she might be knowing something or other. And we need to encourage each and every child in our class that how that child can understand that what the potential he or she is grabbing in his or his intellectuals. So thank you so much. That was all from my end. Thank you so much, Jatinder ma'am, for being connected, and to all my participants as well who have been throughout the session, patiently listening this podcast. So I hope this learning has happened. How many agree that learning has happened today? This is something new. But I never stop my, teaching or, even learning. In fact, I never stop myself. I never get panicked with this thing that, my camera is not working or my, voice is not audible, something like that. That is where I guess, when I was connecting with you guys, I was better able to connect with each one of you, right? When I was taking messages from chat box. Thank you
Yes.
so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Jatinder ma'am. That's all from my end.
Thanks to you, ma'am, for inculcating such information to us. And I would like to thank you on behalf of everyone, on behalf of BTAG, on behalf of CBSE Bharat Suhodaya Committee, and on behalf of everyone. And I feel it is really truly said that patience always bears good fruit. Though we were waiting for you and the audience, they were keeping patience for a long time, but still when you started, it gives an encouragement and enthusiasm to everyone. So that's why everyone was so interactive. And I wish that everyone has learned something new from the session. Thank you so much, ma'am, for providing such knowledge to all of us. And you're really a promising and enthusiastic lady that I ever know in my life. Thank you so much,
Thank you,
ma'am.
ma'am. Thank you. I'm still open to the questions if anybody wants to ask. Anybody?
Yes, our audience might be having some questions, and I just request everyone to put up your questions, please.
Audience can raise their hands. We'll unmute you and you can directly ask questions to the resource person.
Or otherwise, I would take it that it was so clear that no question is there. But I don't think so it should happen. I really want to have some sort of learning from, your end as well. Okay, so I could see one hand raised. Yes.
Yes, ma'am, you
so
can
ma'am,
ask
you
your
can
question, please.
unmute. Yes, please.
Yes, good evening, ma'am.
Very good evening, ma'am. Very good evening.
It was genuinely a new topic for me, but can you just elaborate with one topic?
Yeah, sure.
Whatever you taught, like, how we can start with?
See, ma'am, like in this technique, if I don't know you have missed the information or not. Like actually in this technique, the very first step one person needs to pick up the difficult subject. We need to train our student that they need to, because generally this is the habit of our student. They don't pick up those difficult subjects. They feel like whatever is easy, they can go about that. First step is always to pick up the difficult subject. That is the first step, how the way they can start it up. And then after that, teaching themselves or teaching to any person who is just next to them. And third, coming back to the same way, like coming back to the same position, if they feel like that they lagged somewhere in while teaching in the second step, they should just reflect on their weaknesses. They should reflect on the mistakes, what they did, and then again learning from the resources. That is the third step, learning from the resources. And fourth step, again, it says that yes, getting the more experiences and learning which wherein knowledge can actually enhance.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Even I was about to ask this question, that if the student is not able to understand the easy things, then how can we make him understand the difficult one if we are starting with the difficult question or something like that?
Self-teaching is the only source. That is why I said, that is why my question was that why a banker cannot teach the same thing and a teacher can teach. Self-teaching, right? We teach the same topic, like 10 times or 5 times or maybe twice, maybe once, I would say. Let me take up the minimum number. When we teach any topic once, we never forget that topic. And that is very practical. That is very practical, right?
Yes.
Same strategy, if our students who are weak in studies, if we'll just train them, we'll just counsel them to go for this technique, they will definitely never ever lag behind.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. Do we have any other questions from any of the participants or the audience? I think everything is clear to everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Once
Thanks
again,
for,
I'm very thankful to all the participants for being so patient and for being so active. And at the end, definitely, I would like to extend my heartiest thanks once again to Salam sir, like who was very patient in the very beginning, like when I was just got disconnected, he was very patiently, he was handling the situation. And I guess it was just because of his encouragement that I could just get this session done. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. And thanks
Thank
to
you
you
so much.
all, Jatinder ma'am too,
Thank
for
you,
being
ma'am.
such a great mediator. And it was like great help from your end too. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. My pleasure. And I would also like to extend my heartiest thanks. I should say that I'm grateful to sir. This is my first interaction with Dr. Abdul Salam, but just still I got to know that you are such a genius and you are such a nice person. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. And our heartiest thanks to you, sir, for your magnanimous support and guidance, and for providing us such a platform where a lot of people can learn new things. And we feel that you will provide us such opportunities in the future as well. Thank you so much, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Jatinder ma'am, for the nice job you have done. And the nicer job done by Pooja ma'am. Though we had many glitches in the beginning, she could manage and
Yes.
she could give a very detailed, what do you call a detailed explanation of the Feynman technique. So, respected educators, thank you for joining. In fact, Feynman himself says there is no miracle people.
Yes.
And he says he is just an ordinary man. So it is just people, there is no miracle people, it is just people. Only thing is we have to work hard in learning.
Yes.
So the technique is very essential, very relevant these days when students, they do not understand, they mug up things and, they try to, attend the examinations. When they mug up things, they don't know. If somebody asks you something, and if one of our friends asks us something, we will just say, I think that is the, answer. So instead, Feynman asks us to teach ourselves about any topic which you are interested in. Take any topic, as Pooja ma'am has said, teach to yourself, learn deeply, teach to yourself. If you are get stuck, go back to the source, learn and simplify. If you still need it, simplify, teach, learn and teach. So the knowledge becomes very concrete, and if anybody asks you any question, you will be able to answer them. So this becomes a habit, and it leads anyone to independent learning rather than depending upon others. We are always ask others. Instead of asking others, we have to make a habit to learn ourselves by teaching ourselves,
Ourselves.
by simplifying the concept.